And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add some content here. So the first is I'm going to use this selection tool. Okay, select the selection. And let's create a new layer first. So it's on the top of, if you look at the layer panel here, right here, on the top of World War II text, let's create a new one and name it text area. Okay, it's a text area. So I'm going to select this area, the white area, and I'm going to add some color to it. So I need to get a paint bucket. Where's my, first I'm going to, let's go down, look at the very bottom, the color panel, okay? Let's click on this one. The first, it has a front color and a back color. And we just want to select the color from the front panel. Let's see which color. Maybe this light blue. It's good. And click OK. So I got this light blue selected. Now I need a paint bucket. Let's look at here. That's the gradient. Yeah. Click on the, you see here, there's a little triangle, and let me go away from. You see this gradient? By default, is gradient 2. But it has a little triangle at the right bottom corner, which means this one, if you click on that one, that's a selection, like a menu button. You click on that, the second item is called a paint bucket. So let's select this one. Now I have the, you see my arrow is turned into paint bucket. So I'm going to click here to paint this area with the light blue. And click on the move key. Okay. Now it's still selected. And this one is you go to Control D. This area is deselected. Okay. And the next is, let's use another tool, brush. So I'm going to use a brush. And as soon as you click on the brush, you notice that the property panel shows up, right? It is 15. If not, actually, you can click down and put the size over here. Okay. Hardness, probably I'm going to put 100%. So it is 15, maybe too big. Let's change to 9. Okay. Okay. 9 is still too big, I think. Let's just make it 5. So size is 5, hardness is 100. That's good enough. And I click on this color panel, the front, because we want to have a different color than this. Let's use a red. So this is the red color, is fine. And click OK. Now we have the color, okay, and the size. And we're going to draw a line over here. So click here and hold the Shift key. That gives you a straight line, okay. All right. And you're going to get, let's create another line at the bottom. And hold the Shift key and just drag across, you get a straight line. Okay, that looks pretty good. And we're going to add some text, okay. And we're going to, I'm going to create a new layer. Okay, course text. I'm going to name it course text. So I'm going to put some text over here. So click on the text tool. Let's select 24. Okay. We can use the different, maybe we use, let's see what we're going to have. Going down. Let's use elephant. It's elephant. Okay. And we need to define the text, the color. I'm going to use this just blue, okay? And I'm going to type here. History 101. We import an image, we copy and paste and resize the image. We add a text next to it, okay? And then we create a banner area with the history 101, okay, text. And if you want to add a little bit more text to it, you can do that. The way to do it is make sure this text 101 layer is selected, and you click on text tool. You have to do, that means you go back to the text mode and you click on. Now you will be able to add. And I'm going to add a colon. American history. Okay. Now I'm going to click on the move key. All right. And if you want to change the independence text, you need to go over the text. That's why the layer is very powerful. You can go to the independence, select that, and you can add some text to it or effect. Okay. Let's go back to the very top layer. It's called the course text. Okay. And we have this course text, and I'm going to add some text effect to it. I'm going to create actually some shadow, so make it a more three-dimensional effect. Okay, so, and also some other effect. So make sure that the course text layer is selected. Then you go look at the menu on the top. It's called the layer. If you click layer and select layer style, and let's select bevel and emboss. You notice that it has the bevel emboss creates some three-dimensional effect. Okay, we just accept as it is. We're not going to change anything and click OK. You notice that your text has some three-dimensional effect because it's showing the different lighting to the text, so it makes it better. Okay. And the next is I'm going to add some shadow to it after this lighting effect, bevel and emboss. So let's go to layer again and layer style and select drop shadow. Okay. So in here, we're going to set opacity to 100. Okay. Blended mode, normal. Okay. Opacity 100. Distance, I'm going to put a little bit of distance, which I think probably 5 is good. I'm going to put 5 here. And size, spreading, maybe we'll put 3. Okay, 3 spreading. Size 7, that's okay. The angle is 90 degrees. We can put 120, see how it works. It's pretty good. Okay, well, let's do 120. That's all we need. And I'm going to click OK. This gives you a little bit shadow effect. Okay, drop shadow effect. Now you can do the same thing to the text on the top or to the images on the top. So let's practice that skill. Okay, so let's move down to go to the layer, go down to image 2, and make sure you select image 2. And if you're not quite sure this is image 2 or not, you can look at the left side of this layer. You can click on the eye on and off. So that check is, this is the independence image. Okay, so this is the layer I select. And I'm going to apply the bevel and emboss to the image. So let's do that. Let's go to layer, layer style, bevel and emboss. And click OK. We don't need to change anything. That looks better. And I'm going to add another thing. Maybe I want to add some like a frame around that image. So let's go to, with this image 2 still selected, let's go to Edit and select Stroke. I'm going to set this width as 2, and the color I'm going to use yellow bright. Okay, and click OK. That looks good. Okay. Now let's click on image 3 and click on eye off and on. So make sure this is the right image we want. And then let's apply the effect we just did. Okay, let's first do the bevel and emboss. Go to layer, layer style, bevel and emboss, and click OK. And then we're going to add a frame around that image. So let's go to Edit, Stroke, and this time I'm going to change, the width is the same too. I'm going to change it to a different color, maybe just orange. OK, and click OK. That's good. And let's click on image 4. And we go to layer, layer style, bevel and emboss. Click OK. And we're going to add a frame. Let's go to Edit, Stroke. And let's change to a different color, maybe green. Click OK. Click OK. All right. Okay. So that looks pretty good. You know, that's all we need. Let's finalize our project. You notice that we already created so many layers, right? But we want to export as a JPEG file. So we need to collapse all these layers into one, then we can export as one image. Okay. So to collapse all the layers, you go to Layer again, and go to the very bottom. It's called a Flatten Image. Okay. Now you notice, look at the layer panel. It's only one. Okay. In case you want to add something to it, and you want to go back to the status that with multiple layer, you can do that. You can either do Edit, Undo Flattening. That give you back all these images. Or you can go to Window and select History. Now you see the History panel shows up here, right? I'm going to flatten the image. Edit, Flatten. You see this, it records every move you have done, okay? Since you flatten image, it becomes one layer. But if you want to unflatten it, you can click on the trash, use a trash can to delete this action, and it get you back and say yes. And to get you back, you have all the images, layers for the image. Now let's flatten it and export. So Layer, Flatten Image, and then you go to File, Save As on your computer. So I save on my computer. I want to select this one. Okay. Photoshop folder 1. Now you notice that by default is a Photoshop format. This is not what we want. So I need to click on this download. Okay. A down menu. and search for JPEG. Okay, now it is a JPEG, and I'm going to name, it's already named a project 1. You click save, and quality 8 we already defined. We just click OK. All right. And now let's minimize it and look at the photo we have. Here, this is the image. You see, this is the image we create. That's the end for this section.